crazy from Eddie Hernandez.
Bandido. That's the leg.
Hi everybody, welcome to GAW Dark. We begin here with Bandido of the Latin American Exchange coming out with, of course, the legendary Rey Mysterio. LAX formed really at Nitro 10 when Bandido won the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge in an absolutely thrilling battle. Go back and watch that part of Nitro 10 if you haven't seen it already. It was tremendous. We've got quite a show planned for you tonight. Of course, we see Bandido going up against the former Intercontinental Champion Matt Hardy. We're going to see the so-called future of wrestling, and don't take that from me, take that from Kazuchika Okada. Yamamoto is coming up next. We're gonna get to see the Woods Club in action. We're gonna get to see Queen Alexia, the youngest competitor in GAW. And in our main event, we will get to see Kaitlyn Dunlap go up against the woman who upset her last week on Dark, Katana, no disqualification. It's going to be a fantastic show, and Matt Hardy looking to make it a fantastic season. He has yet to really climb the mountain after winning the Intercontinental Championship last season when he was teamed with the evil forces of Alpha. Well, now that Alpha is gone, Hardy looking to return to the levels of success that he saw last season. This would certainly be a way to do it, taking on the high-flying, uprising Bandido. Some chants for Matt Hardy raining down, those delete chants. It's a lot easier for fans to root for Matt Hardy these days now that the evil specter of Alpha has disappeared. If you didn't watch GAW last season, if you're new to general admission wrestling, then last season the big story was how much it was dominated by the evil forces of Alpha. Bandido, a beautiful sit-out gut-wrench bomb. Matt Hardy kicks out. Alpha at one point held the Intercontinental Tag Team and World Championships. Bandido with a poison Rana spikes Matt Hardy. It's how he beat Buddy Murphy as well in the last episode of Friday Night Storm. He'll probably need more than one to get the job done. Matt Hardy was the first official member of Alpha along with Ricochet, who we now know is the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship after Conor McGregor stopped Adam Cole from winning a Battle Royal. Bandido, Heat Seeker. Just got done explaining Alpha, and Bandido may have just got done with this match. A Heat Seeker plants Matt Hardy, and Bandido continues his winning ways. What an unstoppable force Bandido and Rey Mysterio have turned out to be. And it's a lot different than what we've seen from the relationship between Hernandez and Rosita, where we saw Rosita pull out some very dirty tactics to get a cheap win over Bianca Belair the last episode of Friday Night Storm. No tactics of the sort needed from Rey Mysterio, and you can tell how much his influence is helping Bandido right now. I think the sky is the limit for this kid at this point. With LAX in his corner, it's hard to say that Bandido is not the fastest rising star on Friday Night Storm at the minute. Coming up next, talk about a fast rising star, the woman that Kazuchika Okada called the future of wrestling. Yamamoto is in action. Yamamoto is on track for a Women's Academy Championship match with Lazara in the near future. Tune in to next episode of Academy Storm Chaser, by the way, for a lot more information on the huge matches that we have coming up. Of course, we've got that Women's Championship match. We've got Kurt Andrews taking on Garrett Gibson in the Academy title match. We've got Eddie Hernandez versus Yunsan Park. Lots to learn about when all those matches will take place. And Yamamoto, she's looking to get herself some momentum heading into that one. Now, Martina Del Sol is an interesting case because Del Sol really didn't show much throughout the Storm Chaser tournament. Former Olympian, but she's still trying to figure it out as a professional wrestler. But when we got to the knockout stages, Del Sol upset Kaitlyn Dunlap in the first round to make it to the semifinals. Dunlap may very well have cost Del Sol her semifinal match after she beat up the Brazilian after that first round contest. So Del Sol took on Dunlap on the first episode of Academy Storm Chaser in the main event. Dunlap picked up a win, but certainly Del Sol looking better now than she did throughout the Storm Chaser tournament. This is a big test for her. Yamamoto, you can see the size and the strength. Just 19 years old is Yamamoto, the second youngest competitor in the Academy, the only one younger we will be seeing tonight later on when Queen Alexia is in action. Yamamoto goes for a cover. Del Sol kicks out. Yamamoto has at least the height advantage over just about everyone in the Academy. Very much like her mentor, Kazuchika Okada. She is very long. And now an air raid crash neckbreaker, also like her mentor, Okada. That influence of the former 7-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion very much apparent in the game of Yamamoto, all the way up into her devastating finishing move, which is, of course, the Rainmaker. Now, that being said, Yamamoto is known for using other wrestlers' finishing moves. And now Yamamoto tosses Del Sol out. Hang on, look at this. Yamamoto, oh my goodness. A plancha right over the top. And Yamamoto showcasing a little bit of athleticism as well. Wow. Yamamoto has it all, doesn't she? I think there's no doubt that she will be a huge star going forward. Obviously, the blessing of Okada helps very much. Del Sol just trying to battle right now, trying to ground the much taller athlete, but Yamamoto just too strong. This could be definitely a preview of Yamamoto's match against Lazara when that does happen. And again, the next episode of Storm Chaser will have more information on that. Couple neck breakers on the outside. And now Yamamoto again, look at this. An air raid crash neck breaker. Second one hit. And now Yamamoto slides back into the ring. She'll allow Del Sol to come to her feet here. Yamamoto in full control. Referee counting. Del Sol will have to beat the count of 15. Yamamoto knows she will. Del Sol back into the ring, and Yamamoto, that was the wrong time to go up onto the middle ropes, and Del Sol takes advantage. And maybe Del Sol can finally break the offensive onslaught of never mind. Big boot from Yamamoto, and Del Sol rolls outside again. Yamamoto looking to hit the elbow drop. I think she was looking to do it in the ring, but I guess ringside will work just as well. And back outside they go. Del Sol just cannot get control of this match. Yamamoto is too powerful. Back into the ring she goes. Del Sol comes up, hangs her up on the top rope. And maybe Del Sol does have a chance here. Strike to the back of the head, and now Del Sol with a couple knees right to the chest, and that is the jiu-jitsu background, the Muay Thai background of Martina Del Sol, Brazilian jiu-jitsu trained. Del Sol follows Yamamoto out. I think it's a smart decision to come back into the ring, and Del Sol catches Yamamoto, as I think she was looking for a discus lariat. She's used it to win matches before, and now Yamamoto. Yamamoto, tombstone pile driver. And that took a lot out of her as well. Took her a little while to get up and make the cover, and now Martina Del Sol could have an opportunity. No. Yamamoto spikes the Brazilian with a tombstone pile driver, and it just goes to show you how dangerous Yamamoto is, because it took her a couple seconds to make that cover. after Del Sol had hit her with a couple quick kicks. And then the attack on the outside, and you can see Yamamoto forced to take a little bit of rest here. Cost her a couple seconds, but she gets that energy back, comes in, makes the cover, and there's nothing Del Sol can do about it. And now we've seen Yamamoto win several consecutive matches without the Rainmaker. I think this is turning into one of the most dangerous opponents for anyone. You cannot game plan against a woman that you don't know what she might break out at any given time. Yamamoto sends a statement to Lazara ahead of their impending Academy title match. Coming up next, the Woods Club in action. Jason Parker on the last episode of Storm Chaser announced that we would be bringing back the Academy Tag Team Championships, and the Woods Club were first on the scene. They've been in the Academy for several months now, with the promise that the tag team titles would be coming back at some point. These two guys have been teaming on and off for about 10 years. Their first match, though, ended in disappointment when they were upset by the new team of Andrew Wesley and Frankie Omega. I said at the time, every so often, sometimes two singles guys strike up that instant chemistry in the tag division, and that seemed to be the case for Wesley and Omega, but we'll see if Woods Club can get back on track here.
How did you find a way to run from the city of the sun?
Jason Parker did mention that if there's anyone out there that thinks that they can make a run at gold, go and form yourself a team. And after what we saw from Wesley and Omega on the last episode of Storm Chaser, maybe Steffer Drummond thinks he can go for gold here. It's a guy who hasn't had a whole lot of success in the singles ranks, but let's see if he can make it happen in the tag ranks. First question, who's his partner? Scott Danielson, a former GAW Academy champion. He was the champion heading into the Storm Chaser tournament. He famously lost the belt to Garrett Gibson in the course of that tournament, and Gibson has been champion ever since. Of course, Gibson coming up against Kurt Andrews very, very soon, and as I keep saying, we'll have more information on that on the next episode of Storm Chaser. But Scott Danielson, he could do a whole lot for his legacy in the Academy if he is to win the Academy Tag Team Championships upon their reactivation here. But let's see if he and Drummond can come up with the same level of chemistry that we saw from Wesley and Omega. We talked incessantly during the last time we saw Woods Club about chemistry of tag teams and how important it is. And when it comes to Woods Club, as I say, they've been teaming on and off for 10 years. Both guys have spent time in the singles ranks over that time, but they seem to always come together as a tag. And that certainly is the case right now in GAW. As I mentioned, they've been in the Academy for the last couple months. Drummond comes off the ropes, and Seth Woods trying to low bridge him, but Drummond saw it coming, and now Drummond getting the advantage. Let's see if he can sustain it right now. Oh, heavy right from Lance Woods. Shuts that one down. Standing cutter attempt, countered by Drummond. Boot to the gut, and Drummond now backflips off, and back suplex turned into a bulldog by Lance. Lance on top of it all, and now sends Drummond into the corner. Tags in brother Seth, and this is what the chemistry is all about. Whips him right into the diving clothesline by Seth Woods. Seth levels Drummond, and immediately Drummond could be in serious trouble. Danielson gets caught by Lance, and Woods Club has a dominant win. That is what tag team chemistry is all about. And Steffer Drummond just got blitzed by both members of Woods Club. And that move, that whip into that clothesline, that is looking real dangerous right now. They used it against Wesley and Omega, and it almost ended up with a pinfall victory there as well. So Woods Club gets a win back And I think this just goes to show you that the chemistry shown between Wesley and Omega, that is very, very rare. Woods Club, they have their eyes set on tag team gold. Speaking of which, next episode of Storm Chaser, not only will we have all that information that I was promising about our title matches going forward, but in the main event, we will see Lighter team up with Dagonite. Lighter is a legend of the GAW Academy Tag Team Division, the first ever tag team champion. We'll see if he has a new partner for the future in the young 7-foot-tall Dagonite. Coming up next on GAW Dark, Lee Carr, the Ultimate Cinderella, returns to action. Lee Carr, the man who shocked the world in the Storm Chaser tournament, making it all the way to the finals from the 15th seed. He beat Oliver Parker, he beat Andrew Wesley, he beat Kurt Andrews, and he made it all the way to the finals where he was in a brutal match with Eddie Hernandez. It was a terrific contest. Hernandez came out on top, but Lee Carr earned the respect of so many around the academy. So the question now for Carr, the Ultimate Cinderella, is, where does he go from here? Obviously, Kurt Andrews has himself a date with Garrett Gibson for the Academy Championship, so where does that leave Lee Carr? Maybe we will find out in this match, his return to action. We got a young rookie coming out here, Max Ultimate. He's been signed to the Academy for the better part of really the last 8 months. He's been here training. He's an exciting, dynamic young rookie, actually a former circus performer, if you can believe that. Former acrobat in the circus. So this is a guy who, has a whole lot of athleticism and a lot of speed. The question is, how quickly can he acclimate to the wrestling industry? Well, that's what he's been in the Academy doing for the last few months. So let's see how well he does it against the Ultimate Cinderella. Max Ultimate has a very interesting story. You can see that he's pretty undersized. And obviously he does come in with that athleticism that I mentioned earlier, but he's also a student of Eddie Edwards. So, he also has some hardcore chops with him as well that he can pair up with that athleticism. He's a native of the East Coast, coming from Boston. Spent a lot of time on the New York independent scene as he was training. But this here in GAW, this is really the first time that he's gotten to showcase his talent to a wider global audience. And he's certainly doing well for himself right now with a springboard enziguri. Lee Carr kicks out. Max Ultimate, oh, look at this. Trying to put things away early against Lee Carr. Ultimate hoists him up into this torture rack position. He calls it the max damage, but Lee Carr gets himself out of it, and a green out from Carr. Carr blasts Ultimate right in the chest with that green out, and Lee Carr. Max Ultimate made it difficult for the former Street Fighter, but at the end of the day, Lee Carr comes out victorious. Ultimate with a beautiful springboard enziguri. And they talk about Ray Phoenix being the best rope worker in the world, but given Max Ultimate's background, Ultimate might have a shot at that pretty soon. You saw him try to hit the max damage. It's a great move. He comes from the torture rack position into a backstabber. I certainly hope we'll get to see it, and I'm sure that we'll see Max Carr on Dark as we move on here. But this night belongs to Lee Carr. Coming up next, the youngest competitor in GAW, Queen Alexia. Queen Alexia, the youngest competitor in general admission wrestling. You'll recognize her from Nitro 10. She made her debut on the biggest show in the world at the time, the biggest show in the company all year. She debuted against Lazara and really showed out as well. Lazara ends up picking up the win. Alexia has only been a professional for about 8 months, so we're talking a real lack of experience, but one of the best athletes that you will find, and certainly you would think that she just needs time to really perfect her craft, and at such a young age. Well, I think that we'll be seeing Queen Alexia at the top very soon. Look at this, Christine Buckley. Another rookie that we have here in the GAW Academy. Now, you'll probably recognize this music, and you'll probably recognize this color scheme as well. Christine Buckley, a student of Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, of course, one of the best female wrestlers in the world over with WWE, and Buckley was tutored by Lynch early in her career. Buckley, instead of staying with the Behemoth, decided to go to one of the most famous women's underground promotions, Women's Championship Wrestling. She is a 6-time champion there. She's made her way over to the Academy. So she's been here for a few months training up. We'll see what she has to bring to the table against the tremendously athletic Alexia. Certainly the size advantage belongs to Buckley here, but do not underestimate Alexia, the level of athleticism that she brings to the table. Great striking, and now Alexia, effortless strength from the 19-year-old, a stun gun, taking it straight to Christine Buckley. And it's the right move, if you ask me. Now, Buckley was trained by Becky Lynch, as I mentioned, and so with that, you know, we see, of course, the music, we see the color scheme, we see the eccentricity, and what also comes with it is the use of Becky's famous disarm her. Buckley calls it the buckshot, and Alexia through the ropes, and a Hurricane Rana. Unbelievable athleticism. I said it when Alexia made her debut at Nitro. Alexia might be the best athlete that we have in the women's division here in GAW, and I don't mean just in the Academy, I mean on Storm as well. It's her and Bianca Belair, in my opinion. Alexia into the corner, comes flying in with a knee. Buckley certainly unpolished herself as Alexia right over the top. Buckley certainly unpolished herself. She's only been a pro for a shade under 2 years. Cover from Alexia and a kick out. But even though she hasn't been a pro that long, obviously the pedigree of her trainer and the number of times that she's held the Women's Championship Wrestling World Championship certainly speaks for itself. Single leg drop kick from Buckley, and this is the first sign of life for Christine Buckley. Trying to target the arm, but Alexia, she has it well scouted. Front chancery, and Alexia, hip toss, cartwheel, and a knee strike. Alexia, this is a little bit of the inexperience. You got to stay on top here. And it did cost her. Now you know that Alexia knows that the buckshot will be coming. That, as I say, the Christine's name for the submission that we all know as the disarmer. Springboard enziguri from Alexia flattens Christine, and now going for a cover, and again another kick out at 2. Left hand strike, Alexia really taking it straight to Christine right now. This is a tremendous performance. Alexia tosses her up and onto the knee. You can see she couldn't get her that high in the air. But Christine Buckley, now maybe she has the advantage for the first time in the 3 minutes of this match. Picks up Alexia, but Alexia comes right back down with a reverse DDT. Wow. Alexia just 2 steps ahead of Christine right now. And another flying knee into the corner. They call Alexia the Queen of Knights, and she comes flying in with a knee strike. Alexia has learned very quickly how to be a true 8-point striker. It's usually what we talk about when we talk about Aleister Black because of his MMA background, but Alexia has really trained hard when it comes to that. She has trained hard to get to that position where all of her striking weapons, her hands, her elbows, her knees, and her feet, they seem to all be dangerous, and she's used all of them today. Coming down with that knee. The knee strike seems to be the most dangerous of them all so far, and she's using it to great effect. Alexia also has a submission maneuver that she can use, and Buckley with an exploder suplex. A real sign of life for Christine right now, tossing the 19-year-old, and Alexia kicks out. Alexia uses a crossface, kind of a modified crossface, and we might see it right now, backstabber, and she'll use it to transition into that modified crossface, wrenching back on it, and Alexia with the dominatrix picks up the win. That is how good and how quickly Alexia can end a match right there. Christine thought she had the advantage with the exploder suplex, but Alexia just so athletic. And a dominatrix ends proceedings straight away for Christine Buckley. Alexia is dangerous, there's no question about it. And she is able to overcome the size and power of Christine Buckley. Now, just like Max Ultimate, certainly for Buckley, the best is yet to come. But for Alexia, at her age, at just 19 years old, the youngest competitor in GAW, there's part of her that looks very polished for this age. And I think that we will see her very soon on Storm Chaser. Coming up next, Walter, one of the most dangerous men in the world, in action. Hanson of War Machine, obviously not known as a singles competitor, he and his partner Ro team up to form a dangerous tag team, which we will see coming up on Friday Night Storm in a couple days. They will take on the Usos, the tag team champions. But for now, Hanson going in for a little tune-up. Now, I'm not going to be the one to question the wisdom of going for a tune-up match against a man like Walter, but to each his own, I suppose. Walter showing up on GAW Dark. What a surprise this is. But I think it just goes to show you how ready for a fight Walter is at any given time, known as the Ring General, and with good reason. Now, Walter, you need to tune into Friday Night Storm in a couple days, because Walter will be taking place in a fatal four-way for the world title #1 contendership. It'll be Walter, Drew McIntyre, Zack Sabre Jr., and Will Ospreay. You will not want to miss that. So you need to tune in to Friday Night Storm to make sure you see that amazing match. Friday Night Storm this week is going to be jam-packed. Both these men will be taking part. Hanson, of course, will be with his partner Ro fighting the tag team champions, the Usos. As I mentioned, Walter will be in a #1 contenders match for the world title. So you need to tune in. But if you miss that, or if you miss any episode of any show here on GAW, just head on over to our website, generaladmissionwrestling.com. You will be able to read full recaps of every show as they happen. You'll never miss a minute of the action. And of course, you can join our Discord server there as well. Hanson, look at this, trying to put things away early right now as he's got the 300-pounder up and a superplex. Effortless strength from Hanson, really from both men. They're so dangerous in what they do. Walter lifts up Hanson, look at this, choke bomb from a deadlift position. Hanson is 305 pounds. Unbelievable. Hanson catches the boot to the gut and now turns Walter around. Single leg Boston Crab. Walter hooked the ropes, but the referee didn't see it, so now Walter will just power out. You got to think a man this size will be a favorite in that #1 contenders match, but he also has to contend with the 6'8" Drew McIntyre, the always athletic Will Ospreay, and of course Zack Sabre Jr. with the ever-looming threat of the Mob behind him. Walter with Hanson in the Tree of Woe, and it certainly was woeful for Hanson as Walter drives the boot in, and now look at this. Walter with a powerbomb toss. Also from a deadlift position, unbelievable strength, and now Walter has Hanson up. Walter with a power bomb, and he comes down with it as well. What a devastating move. Hanson has to be feeling the pain, and Walter going for another one. And he drives him down. The force with which he just spiked Hanson, and Walter walks out of here with a decisive win. The strength and power on display for the giant Austrian. I think that's exactly why he took this match. Just reminding everyone, in a couple days, I don't know how much chance they have if Walter is competing at this level. I think it's finally time for Walter to show what he has in GAW. Former Intercontinental Champion, he has never held the World Championship. That might change. Make sure you tune in on Friday to watch him compete for #1 contendership. Coming up next, the main event, Kaitlyn Dunlap takes on Katana, the woman who upset her last week on Dark. Katana had a shocking upset of Kaitlyn Dunlap last week on Dark, beat her with the Japanese sword, and Kaitlyn Dunlap obviously did not react too well to that one, and it's very reminiscent of Dunlap's upset loss at the hands of Martina Del Sol, when Dunlap reacted very similarly. But this time she targeted the left arm of Katana, an arm that Katana needs in order to set up that Japanese sword finishing move. So we'll see if Katana is showing any effects of that injury during this match.
Prima donna girl, yeah.
Jason Parker announced that Dunlap would be going one-on-one with Katana in this no DQ match. And I think it says a lot about Jason that he is so quick to try to squash these things before it blows up into anything bigger than what it is. And Dunlap certainly did not act honorably in defeat last week. Not that we would expect any different from the former Miss USA, but what we do know is Kaitlyn Dunlap, even though she may not act honorably, is certainly one of the most dangerous women in the Academy because of her athleticism and because of how easily she can pull out any one of her devastating offensive moves. And now that we've got a no DQ scenario, you'd think that everything's lining up for Dunlap to get a win here, but Katana's upset her once, maybe she can do it again. You got to think that Katana right now, she's thinking, she got a clean win over Dunlap in the first place, so she won't need to resort to any of the tactics that are allowed with the no DQ stipulation. Dunlap, though, we know she's got a sadistic streak about her. She attacked the left arm of Katana. She attacked Martina Del Sol after their match, so you feel like it's probably not too long before Dunlap starts bringing out some of the more brutal tactics that might be used in a no DQ match. Although Katana, she's going underneath right now. Katana's got herself a bat, and she went for the attack on Dunlap. Katana just trying to play equalizer right now. And she does drop the bat. Stops Dunlap from using it against her, but Dunlap on the outside avoids destruction there. Right counter by Katana and a huge knife edge chop. An elbow. Dunlap counters the chop. Another elbow from Katana. And a kick. These two going back and forth on the outside. It's obviously all legal. The only rule is pinfall or submission has to happen inside the ring. Leg lariat from Katana and another knife edge chop. Katana showing her martial arts background here. And now carrying Dunlap. Dunlap could be in trouble as Katana drops her on top of the stairs. So it is Katana that is taking more advantage of the ringside area and the various weapons that it has to offer. But you feel like, you know, at this point, it's more of a security measure, knowing that Dunlap might use it against her, and Dunlap with a DDT on the outside, and Katana's legs caught those steel steps, and now Dunlap from the outside hits the superiority, driving her knees into the gut of Katana twice in quick succession on the outside as well. Katana going for another lariat. Dunlap out of the way, and now up into the fireman's carry. Dunlap has Katana and drops her onto the apron. Dunlap, no doubt, looking to punish Katana, make her feel pain, but Katana goes back for that baseball bat. Dunlap once again sees the danger. And I feel like Katana just trying to equalize the inevitability of Dunlap pulling out a weapon in this kind of match. We'll see which one of them tries to get their opponent back in the ring first. At this point, Katana kick to the, or Dunlap kick to the gut, I should say, and now Dunlap throws Katana into the stairs. Knife edge chop from Dunlap and a kick and another chop. Dunlap going to work right now on Katana. Dunlap from behind, oh my God. Tiger suplex. Katana might be out after that one. No, knife edge chop comes right back. Another one blocked. Katana throws the right. And Dunlap sends her for a third time into those steel steps. My God. And Dunlap now. Dunlap with a DDT on the outside. Unbelievable. Kaitlyn Dunlap just taking it to Katana right now and sends her into the steps again. Kaitlyn Dunlap in full control right now. Gets Katana up and sends her against the apron. Oh my goodness. And Dunlap looking underneath, seeing if she's got any plunder she can look for. Decides against it though. I think she realizes that Katana might be done here. But Dunlap getting the bat for good measure, because why wouldn't you? And Dunlap against the back of Katana. Dunlap has taken control. Katana just trying to stay in things right now. And Dunlap, I think, feels like things might be over at this point. And Katana, Katana takes her down. Katana looking good here. Maybe Katana has a chance. Katana comes right back. Hurricane Rana. Maybe Katana's got herself a chance right now. She has Dunlap. She has Dunlap on top of that baseball bat. Dunlap has rolled onto the bat, and Katana with a standing moonsault. Oh my goodness. Katana doing what she can right now against Kaitlyn Dunlap. And a drop kick. Katana, you gotta think that she's feeling good right now. Dunlap just laid in a couple bat shots. Dunlap has the arm and attacking the left arm. Poetic justice, but Kaitlyn Dunlap comes right back, blocks the chop, and now Dunlap, leg lariat again. Dunlap in control. Driving the boot into the face of Katana. Dunlap back in control of this match. Dunlap comes up and a Hurricane Rana. Wow. Kaitlyn Dunlap. Obviously the no DQ stipulation helps Dunlap more so than Katana, and Dunlap with a sleeper suplex. Dunlap with the bat again, oh my God. Dunlap going to work with a baseball bat. That weapon was introduced by Katana as a security measure, and Kaitlyn Dunlap Unbelievable now for Dunlap. Picks Katana up, and Dunlap one more time with the bat. No surprise that Kaitlyn Dunlap going to work. I mean, she's just swinging it wildly at this point. No surprise that Kaitlyn Dunlap going to work right now. And Dunlap, hang on, what's she doing? Oh my God! Brass knuckles. Brass knuckles employed. Certainly Katana is out, and Dunlap is just going to go celebrate. Wow. I understand that that's part of the stipulation, but I mean, it's just, oh my God, Kaitlyn Dunlap. There are some lines that, oh my God, hang on, Katana rolls her up, Katana into the small package. Katana might have this one. Oh, Katana. Katana steals one from Kaitlyn Dunlap. After Dunlap had brutalized her for the better part of 5 minutes. Baseball bats, brass knuckles. But at the end of the day, Kaitlyn Dunlap, too much taunting, too much showboating, and Katana just a little bit too clever. Dunlap absolutely taking it to Katana throughout this match. Wow, Katana just a little too smart for Kaitlyn Dunlap, and Dunlap can't believe it, but Katana outsmarted Dunlap once again. What a win for Katana, and now for Dunlap, I don't even want to know the kind of headspace she might be in at this point. Folks, thank you so much for joining us on GAW Dark. Once again, tune in on Friday for Friday Night Storm. We've got a #1 contenders match for the World Championship. The tag team champions are in action. And of course, next week on Storm Chaser, big announcements. You won't want to miss a single second. Subscribe so you can see it all. Appreciate you.